Hi, everybody. Hello, Australia from the United States of America. Hi, everybody. My name is Brian King. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States of America. And I am here today for one reason, and that is because I love Louise Sharp. Isn't she wonderful? Are you still clapping? Are they still? Okay. Stop. And by default, I love her. So by default, I love you because you are awesome to be there to support her and to show her the love that you're showing her. I love that. She deserves it. You deserve it. So let's look at some super fun projects. Louise asked me if I would create a project or two using the Come Sail Away suite of products. And I have done that. So I'm going to zoom in for a second on those projects and give you a couple of little tips before you turn around and make them. Yay! All right, everybody, here's a look. When we were on stage at the release of the catalog, we saw a project that used these dies, the largest specifically of these dies, to make a little gift card holder. I've seen several of them online since, but I wanted to make one and share it with you in case you haven't seen it. But here is what we are making. So it is the cutest little pouch that can hold either a business card like that or a gift card like that. And it's really simple to make, and I want to walk you through some of the steps to do that. Let me just tuck this back in there. All right, so first of all, you're going to want, with the largest die, and it has this beautiful stitching around the side, to cut a piece of cardstock and a piece of designer series paper. So one of the things that I want to share about that is that you want to think about the position of this paper. I have taken my trimmer and simply cut this pattern in half. Oh, there's a little strangler of cardstock. About right, say here. Okay, so I've cut it in half to use there. Now, if I were going to use this paper on a second project, this would be upside down, and it's kind of weird to give somebody a gift card that's hanging out of the thing. So think about the positioning of the paper. If I were using this side, you could use both of them on a card. So anyway, that's just a quick little thing that I wanted to remind you, or to encourage you to think about. If you were making a bunch of these from this paper, you could just take this die and cut along the end of the paper all the way down and in strips so that you aren't wasting a lot of that paper by cutting the full piece. So a couple of quick tips. The way that you want to build this is simply, and I'm not going to do all of this right here. I use Tombow glue. It's the easiest for me, and it allows me to get the thinnest layer of glue around these edges. And of course, you only want glue here, 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 and here, because you want that to be open. And then you just layer it down on top. Now, one thing that you will notice, if you end up getting some of the glue in the stitching, it's going to come through. I find I use this all the time. I think Stampin' Up! Discontinued it, but it's just an adhesive remover that you can wipe over the top or the back to get some of that glue off. I have a little strip that is around here somewhere, and it probably fell on the floor, of Sahara sand. Nope, it's not Sahara sand. It's soft suede. You're just going to glue that down and then snip the edges so that it's lined up perfectly there, followed by a quick tying of the ribbon. But first, I want to show you a quick tip about this congrats. If you haven't worked with the new dies yet, you're going to be feel a little bit off with it. But the new dies cut in a different fashion than the others. The others had the cut edge right on the inside. This has a little bit of space before, and on this one in particular, it has some stitching. So when you lay this down, you're going to almost feel like that's a little bit too close for comfort, but don't worry, because when it actually cuts out, again, there's that additional space around it. So I don't know if Louise has already cut these out for you or if she's going to have you cut them, but I just wanted to point that out as a quick little thing to look out for. Also, when tying this little trinket, I chose the anchor. The wheel is just as wonderful, and I imagine that she'll probably have you split between them. Here's how I tied it. You're not going to have the joy of watching me tie a bow today, but what I did was I tied a knot, and then I slipped this little guy on the twine, tied a little knot here, and then that way he can just kind of dangle on the knot. That seemed to work for me. I'm not much of a bow tire. If you know how to get that little guy right there and dangling where it is, that's wonderful, but this seemed to work for me. And there you have a quick and easy, fun little business card or gift card holder. So I wanted to show you a couple more examples that I have made that might inspire you to use other products. This one is, just look, I can just slide it right off there and you don't even know. This one is using the balloon punch, builder punch, and that stamp set. And this paper here is from the art related paper. And it just creates this fun little gift card holder that's perfect for probably a graduation or a recital or something like that. I just wanted to point out here that I just adhered this with dimensionals right under here on this panel, but not on this panel because then you wouldn't be able to get the card in. So that one is cute. And then this one I made with that beautiful striped paper from Bird Ballad. I cut this one at a diagonal and then added a little white strip here, Thanks for Being You, which is from the Free as a Bird stamp set, and then added this little petal, which is a sweet little thing as well. So here are three very different gift cards holders for very different occasions. A thank you, a congrats, and a graduation. I think you're going to have fun with it. Depending on what else you might want to give, there could be another set of these dies that you could use for that. A little note tucked inside, anything like that. These little pockets can be super fun. You can use them in any direction you want, and I know that you will have so much fun with it. The second project that I created and am excited to share is based on a technique that I really love. When you first started stamping, and you might still be this way now, beginners tend to really feel obligated or overwhelmed, obligated to stamp all over the page or overwhelmed by a little bit of white space. So if you think back to the first card class that you attended, if this was the card base and you stamped a little snowman and you were supposed to put 3 little snowflakes, you probably added more snowflakes and just covered it all, or with flowers or whatever. So overstamping can be something that it's a symptom of the joy of stamping. You just want to stamp more, and I totally get that. But sometimes, in my view at least, simple can be better. So this one allows you to just get that energy out there and really enjoy stamping. And I'm going to use Blueberry Bushel, which is a brilliant and beautiful blue. The brilliant and beautiful blue Blueberry Bushel. And I'm using this compass from the coordinating stamp set that you're working with today. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ink this up and I'm going to stamp a couple of little compasses, right? So now I'm going to ink up again. I'm just going to stamp again, kind of go maybe in the other direction. Bold, second, third, 1, 2, 3, I mean, it really, on one hand, it kind of looks cool. And on another, it almost looks like garbage. But it's letting me do what I want to do, which is stamp. I just want to get these images out there. And I created this band that I really love just by stamping that compass over and over and over. So the idea that I had, oh, I want to stamp one more thing before I put my blueberry bushel away. So I have this little band that is 3/8 inches wide, and you are going to get to watch me try my best to line it up here. And if I don't, I know that you will be so kind and not say a word. I'm going to turn this over to, oh. All right, we'll just do it this way. Here we go. Oh, look at me. Yay. Okay, so my original idea, oh, I have one more thing to show you, sorry. So I'm gonna stamp this one more time on thick Whisper White. I'm just gonna hold it there so it gets a little bit more ink, so that ink can really soak into that paper. And then I'm gonna punch it with a 1.5 inch circle punch, hoping I'm not too close to the end there. And as always, it just pops right out and goes flying. So my original thought was to layer this here. So create this fun little layer. This "You Are My True North," just kind of as like a little band that's kind of anchored along this side and not here. And then to add my little, well, that doesn't seem to work. And so I was stuck. I had this in my mind. I knew exactly what I was going to do. And so I sat back and said, let's look at it a different way. What if I do it like this? And I actually like that a lot better because it allows this to be the backdrop on which these items shine. So a couple of tips before I show you the finished project. One is you're going to use all of Louise's Blueberry Bushel ink. Yay! So hopefully she has re-inker. You're going to want to stamp this first. Then the next thing is you're going to want to find out where you need this positioned in order for this to work. What you don't want to do is to put it here and then that doesn't work there. So make sure you have enough room to get that however you want it positioned. Then glue this down and trim off this end before you glue it on here. Another quick tip that I want to share is a compass has north and west and east and south. And you can't see the north or the south on here, but there is a W and an E. So if you want that to be your true north, just make sure that your W is on this side and your E is on that side, because that means north and that is true north. So let me show you what that finished project looks like. I just mounted all of that together on Blueberry Bushel and created that fun little card. So it's a lot of messy stamping. It creates a fun pattern there. And I think that the receiver will know that this is what's being imaged there with a little bit of over stamping. I hope you love it. So what do you think of those projects? They're really quite simple, but I think you'll find that they're also easy to share with customers and share with team members and to share with friends that you hope will become your customers or team members. The ideas are very simple, and I think you can put your own spin on them to share them with the people that you love. Thank you again for listening to me go on and on and on, and for supporting Louise. She is awesome. I hope that y'all are having a wonderful time, and I can't wait to see pictures from your fun weekend. Have a good day!